Marvelicious Toys podcast, hosted by the astonishing Arnie, the mighty Marjorie, and Captain Justin.
Nah, just Justin.
Join us at MarveliciousToys.com to find thousands of pictures of the items reviewed, find links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages, and much more.
Hello, this is Marjorie with Marvelicious Toys, and welcome to 2019. This is our ToyFair pre-game show kind of episode.
This is Arnie, and yes, thank you for watching us instead of whoever happens to be on television tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but I guarantee we're a heck of a lot more fun.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's highly skippable. And this is Justin.
And welcome back to Marvelicious Toys. We are happy you guys have still stuck with us through social media as we took a little bit of a break over the holidays, but we're back. We are excited because there is a lot to talk about. But Justin, how have things been collecting-wise with you? It's been a little while.
It has been a little while, and, we didn't do a ton of shows in the last half of 2018, but that doesn't mean that Hasbro didn't just dump us with just a boatload of stuff. I mean, between all the waves of Marvel Legends, the 10th anniversary collection, all of that stuff, it just added up to my desk being filled with 6-inch plastic right now. So I think it's time we hop back in and start talking about new stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy out there. Did you guys have a chance to go shopping post Christmas and see like all the crazy clearance stuff going on?
Okay, so yes, I saw all these people posting on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit how they're getting all these great deals. I managed to pick up a few, but overall, like, we never saw that Hulkbuster MCU 10th anniversary set go on clearance like some people saw. I never saw any Legends go on deep discount. I think we picked up the Spider-Man playset for like $7. And that little Prowler game that went with the one with the action figure that went with Into the Spider-Verse. I got that for $5 on clearance, but I don't know if it's a Walmart at our towns or what, but I did not see any really crazy sales.
It was hit and miss for sure, but I was, there was a time there where both Walmart and Target were clearancing off some of the Marvel Studios 10th anniversary stuff, but it seems like that might have been a mistake because I've been in the stores lately and all those things that were marked down, the single packs of Iron Man and Red Skull, they're back on the regular shelf at regular price. So there might have been a glitch there that put that line on clearance too soon. So if you grab some of that stuff, that's, good for you because it's right back there at normal price now.
Yeah, I actually tried to buy the Hulkbuster again and have another one to open and play with. And I had my picture on my phone. I went up and scanned it at the register. And the checkout person was going to give it to me until she called the manager over. And the manager's like, we cannot price match other Targets. She explained to me that what sells in one area may not sell in the other, and she said they've been going through a good clip of those, so they weren't going to put them on clearance.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've wanted is a spare Hulkbuster, but not pay full price for it. And I did think that it would go on clearance. The thing is, the MCU 10th anniversary line, I'm seeing reports from Facebook groups I'm in, people posting to our Twitter and our Facebook. The line is kind of stagnant. They came out with them. We have one Walmart where it looks like an entire massive display, a whole wall of these MCU 10th anniversary Ronin and Ant-Man and all the Iron Man sets, and not at all on discount and not selling at full price.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think they put it on clearance like incorrectly, but it's gonna go on clearance. I mean, all that stuff is sitting there. I mean, I never saw the bigger packs, the Hulkbuster pack. Never saw those go down, and I'm keeping my eye on it because I would like to pick one of those up. But yeah, not at the full price. That's that's a little bit much for a figure that I already paid the full price to build, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we had some weird discounts at ours. That Bucky Falcon 2-pack of Legends, that went on clearance, not the MCU one or anything, but just the regular 2-pack of figures. That went on clearance, and they stuck an entire end cap of them in the bedding section. So it's like on the opposite wall from the toys at Target. Like, you have to go through the little wall cubby to get to the other side. It was over there for some reason. I just happened to stumble across it. But they were only like $5 off.
Oh, geez. Those 2-packs, they were some pretty good discounts. Target did a good job of discounting those packs because you're right. The Bucky and Falcon pack was the most plentiful. But then they had that Killmonger 2-pack. And then they also had the Spider-Man with Spider-Gwen 2-pack. And that one went pretty quick. But I was able to find one of each of those for sub $12. They went to like $11.
Oh, wow. I never saw the Spider-Gwen set other than full price and before Christmas. After Christmas, that one was just gone.
I was waiting for the Bucky Falcon set to go a little lower so I could buy a spare Bucky and Falcon.
Can never have too many Buckies.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, I agree. We haven't done a lot of shows. Collecting has still been going strong here, though. I mean, I just this week got in the Black Panther M'Baku Build-A-Figure wave. Have you gotten those Legends yet?
Ooh, yeah. I was lucky to come across those at a GameStop during one of those rare times that they're doing their bag promotions. Have you done that where anything you get in a bag, 25% off?
Yes, and here's a little pro tip. If it doesn't fit in the bag, they'll still give you the price off because they get a certain amount of points for selling those bags.
Yeah, they're pretty cool about it. And actually, a lot of times GameStop employees are really cool. If you're cool, they'll be cool. I mean, I found every one of them except for one at this GameStop, and the guy's like, well, you still need the Black Panther one. I'm like, yep. He's like, hang on. And he called another store and said, hey, can you hold this for the guy and give him the 25% discount? I'm like, awesome. I'm running over there now. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Pretty good way to complete a wave like that is getting them on a little bit of a discount right up front. And it's a good wave. A lot of Black Panther figures in it, but still a good wave.
Well, it's a Black Panther figure wave. So, I feel a little bit like that meme. It's because online, everybody's posting about their Spider-Man Kingpin Legends, and I'm over here like, I just got M'Baku.
Yeah, that's the wave that scares me a little bit. Whenever Hasbro drops like 2 or 3 waves on us, there's always one that's going to be a little bit thinner in the air, and the other 2 end up being like, oh, if I would have just held off, I would have got them for $10 on Amazon. And the Spider-Man wave is the one that I've only seen one figure of in the wild, and that's the 6-armed Spider-Man. So this one, that might be a little bit of a harder to get wave.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it will be or not. I've ordered one from Entertainment Earth, and Entertainment Earth, they've not been my friends lately as far as fast shipping. They sent me my case of Funko. What do they call them, Marjorie? The little.
Oh, the holiday Funko Pops?
No, not the Pops. The things you like.
Pint-sized heroes. I love the pint-sized heroes. I am all in on all those for Marvel. They're so cute.
And my case of holiday pint-sized heroes, and again, remember, case, came in last week. That's going to be really great for me to give away as Christmas gifts in Christmas 2019.
At least it wasn't the Advent calendar.
That would have been great to have an advent calendar of that. Oh my God, that would be genius. Funko, if you're listening, you've got to do that.
You should tell them the idea
at
ToyFair.
Yeah, because I think that line is so underrepresented and so underappreciated. I feel like I'm the only one who really likes it.
But the Legends that I'm really seeing in stores or looking for is the Captain Marvel wave of Legends with the movie figures. Only seen them at Walgreens so far.
Yeah, interesting. They've been at Walgreens. I've seen them at Target and Walmart as well. But it seems like, yeah, Walgreens kind of quick on the draw here on this wave.
I could have the full wave, but I had pre-ordered a case. So I've just picked up figures I don't mind having doubles of. I've gotten both Captain Marvels. I really like her with like the bomber jacket. that one's my more favorite Captain Marvel. And then I got the Skrull, and I got Nick Fury.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so you've got basically the movie characters except for the green guy, and I can't even think of his name now.
Talus. Talus is the one I do have. I don't have...
Jan-Rog.
Jan-Rog. Oh, the green armored guy.
Yes.
What's the actor? Jude Law.
Yes.
I don't have him. I don't have Janice Vell, and I don't have Greg Gargoyle.
Okay, but for the most part, you've got the movie characters minus Jude Law.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should just go ahead and pick up those last three so I can have a couple Kree sentries. I mean, I'm this far in now.
But these are Skrull, aren't they? Are we officially getting Skrull now?
Skrull and Kree.
Oh, nice.
Because, it's a Kree-Skrull war.
Sure. But before we get into all those that are coming in waves, it's one of these things where we've seen these things at toy fairs and conventions over the last year or so. Well, they're finally starting to come out, and I don't want them to get lost in the shuffle between all these waves coming out. But there's some exclusives in the Marvel Legends that are about to hit. And Walgreens, I think everybody is aware, is getting an awesome new comic version of Mystique coming out. And as of right now, I haven't heard of anybody finding it in the States, but it has been showing up overseas and Asian markets and stuff like that. So that means it's pretty close to shipping over here. So that'll be a fun one to try to pick up.
Yeah, I definitely need a couple of those with the different heads, and I think they did a great reuse of the Rogue head there with the half-blue face paint, although you could put that on a Rogue, and it might look like she's at a Maple Leafs game or something.
Yeah, it is kind of like super duper sports fan. Yeah.
Gotta support the team, man. Gotta support the team.
If some team has blue with that shade of camo green, then that is definitely sport going Rogue.
And then the other...
Real quick on her still. What is with, though, that cheap-ass gold gun? Look at that gun in her hand. That is... If you made it black, I wouldn't love it, but I'd live with it. It's like Lando says, I don't like it, I don't agree with it, but I accept it.
It's that weird gold fakey looking plastic. Like it's not like gold colored or painted. It's this like milky gold color that's not very good.
Yeah, if I have one complaint with Marvel Legends as a whole, it's their lack of real world weapons. Everything comes down to either looking real but then being cast in a nonsensy colored plastic, or it looks like some big laser gun that nobody uses. And this is, yeah. Luckily, Mystique isn't known for her weaponry, so it'd be easy to just leave those in the package and display her as a cool-looking figure.
Yeah, in the comics, she uses guns. I remember some guns, at least, but yeah, that is just a sad, sad inclusion. Now, the Walmart exclusive green suit Captain Marvel, though, they painted her weapons. That looks well worth the exclusive price.
Yeah, and it looks like you're getting some stuff that doesn't come with the regular version of the figure. Sure, it's a repaint of the regular release. This is her Star Force green outfit, and obviously we haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm guessing this is either an earlier or a later version of the suit. I'm guessing later, based on
I'm guessing earlier.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because you're right. In the trailers, she's going all Nova Prime fire in the red and blue suit, right?
Here's the thing. She's going to probably have the red and blue suit in Endgame because that's her classic look. That's her iconic look. So why would she end the movie in a green suit and then not wear it?
Right. Good point. But we get a couple extra heads. It looks like they're swapping out the heads from... No, I guess it's the same head that comes with the regular suit version. But some of these accessories, the scarf, that whatever type of weapon that is, if it's a gun, that doesn't come with the regular version. Nor does the bandolier type of thing.
The satchel.
The satchel. But that's kind of cool as first straight repaint. and Target is getting one too. And you know, I'm into translucents, but I feel like this should just be the regular figure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that this should be an exclusive. Give me those arms as a swap out thing and the head as a swap out. Don't make me buy two versions of this figure, but I will.
Well, her hair is also translucent. I think this is the most translucent we've had on something like this. I mean, the eyes, hair, arms.
You know, I realize that the arms are just translucent and then there's some accessory that's stretched around them, but it kind of looks like the Thing from 1982, like when you cut their arms off and it became all tentacly. Tentacly, whatever that word would be.
Yeah, I mean, in some of these promo pics, the ones that are on her hand kind of looks like that dude from the Guinness Book of World Record who didn't cut his fingernails for 45 years.
I thought they looked like pom-poms on the one on the right there. Maybe we could give them to Rogue when she goes to her sports game.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, this is cool. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel different enough from the regular release to be like, ooh, an exclusive I gotta have. But the collector and all of us knows that we're going to pick it up.
I understand why you could say you want swap out pieces, but there's a lot of swap out pieces here. 2 heads, 2 arms, and given that we aren't lacking for accessories with these, I'm okay with this being an exclusive because they put translucent hair on both the heads. If it had been the same heads and just the arms and the accessories, I'd feel gypped.
But I don't think you're getting extra arms. You're just getting extra stuff to put on the arms. Like, there's 2 versions of it. There's the wad of gum, and then there's the stringy gum.
But the arms themselves are translucent.
Yeah, but you're not getting extra arms.
No, but he was saying just pack it all together.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But you're saying the extra arms. Like, there's no extra arms?
So, yeah, no word on when that one's going to be out yet. Like, I haven't heard any reports of people finding that one yet. I haven't seen any DPCI numbers floating around to go ask for them to come out of the back. So that one's probably a good month or so out yet. But, you know, on the flip side of not being super excited about that exclusive, you know, the wait won't seem as long when it does start to show up.
It's weird that Captain Marvel is just a month away. It does not feel like it's that soon. It feels like the blitz of marketing hasn't really hit. The toys haven't hit. There's not huge Captain Marvel displays in the stores the way there was for Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther, and I guess Ant-Man didn't get one, but you know, that's Ant-Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, they're sandwiching this movie in right before Endgame. I mean, when's the last time we've got 2 Marvel Studios movies a month after each other? This is unprecedented. So the marketing for this is going to be crazy, and I feel like it's necessary because I feel like whatever happens in Captain Marvel is going to lead directly into what we need to know about going into Endgame. So they're kind of stuck in this place where it's like, oh, there's so much that you're going to know in 2 months from now that we can't show you yet.
Well, I think they did this because they opened Black Panther in February, Black History Month. March is Women's History Month. And so I think that much like Black Panther really appealed to that demographic, they're really striking. I mean, you saw that What Makes Her a Hero, I'm With Her trailer. You know, it's almost Hillary Clinton, the superhero, with the I'm With Her. And so I think they're really hammering it hard. I think they'd actually prefer it not to be so close. They've moved Endgame as late as they can in April and Captain Marvel's as early as they can in March to try to make it 2 months and a little bit like Black Panther and Infinity War, but it does feel piggybacking, and I'm not sure how much they're going to lead into each other because Captain Marvel's a period piece taking place in the 90s. I think we're going to find out about that pager we saw at the end of Infinity War, and that's might be about it. And my prediction is we're going to see how Sam Jackson loses an eye.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is there's knowledge about Captain Marvel that we need to know as an audience before we go into Endgame. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to butt up right to the events. Maybe. I mean, it's Marvel. I mean, they always do a good job of, you know, dovetailing things together cleverly.
I'm sorry, that's the Russo brothers. But I think we got to figure out how the rumors and the fan theories are that Captain Marvel's going to save the day, but I think I need to know a lot more about this person that's going to save these people that I've watched and loved for the last 10 years. Is someone just coming new and be like, hey guys, saving the day. I need to know more about her.
Agreed. And I trust the Russo brothers to not make it hoary like that. But we'll see. It is, in my mind, a gambit to have a new character come in and theoretically save the day. And, you know, Justin, what you said, though, got me thinking. I bet the end credits stinger for Captain Marvel is, oh, my beeper's going off.
They're never that linear, though.
They kind of are.
They pull it out not at the beginning. It's something that, it's not that linear where it leads into the next one. They're not that transparent, for lack of a better term, and not a pun.
And breaking news, we have a DPCI for this figure.
All right.
Yep. So if you go to Walmart, you know where to punch in the numbers.
You're talking about
Target.
Target.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't.
But I've also got the Walmart SKU if you want to look on Brickseek. So if you're going to go to Target and go to the little red box, you're going to want 087160128.
Again, that's 087160128. That's my attempt at the AMSR version of that.
Ah, okay. Well, then if you want that was for the Target exclusive. If you want the Walmart exclusive one, the SKU is 587250-713.
Not that will help you at all, because last year, trying to get that Walmart exclusive Thanos was the bane of my existence.
I have still never seen it in our town.
I have finally seen him sitting on shelves around Christmas time, but
we had to go to Podunk to get him. We always have to go to Podunk.
And since it is a Walmart exclusive, that just means in 5 months from now, you're going to walk in and there's going to be a whole wave of it there. That's usually
what she's saying is she never saw Thanos that way.
I never saw
Thanos is going to show up in 4 months as a full case.
Next year. Oh, I
Right.
see. Like a year later.
Yeah.
But in addition to the Captain Marvel legends, I've gotten some notices of shipment on some things I've ordered at Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. The first of which is the next wave of the Riders series with Professor X in the hover chair and Deadpool in with his scooter and Dogpool.
Oh, yeah.
And Squirrel Pool.
And I think the best part of this, Squirrel Pool is the best part. The scooter's the second best part, but the third best part is we get Hydra Bob's head in this pack.
So if you're like me and stocked up on Hydra soldiers.
Exactly. I'm just now noticing that they put the 80 years logo on these boxes.
You're right. I had not noticed that before, and when we saw this last year, I didn't see that.
No, yeah, that must be a new late edition. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited for these packs. I mean, they're getting quite a bit of mileage out of these the suited body nowadays. It might be time to come up with an alternate version of the sports jacket and tie body, but it works for Professor X here.
And I remember our post San Diego Comic-Con show where we were like all confused, like, is Professor X also in the X-Men wave? What's this build a hover chair they were talking about? And I don't know if I've mentioned it on the show because we hadn't done that many, but at New York Toy Fair, I mentioned that to them. I'm like, can you clarify? They're like, yeah, we thought we were being clever. We didn't realize we were being confusing. None of it is coming in that X-Men wave. It's just here. The Build-A-Figure for the X-Men wave is not a chair.
Hey, they did Build-A-Figure wings for Vulture from Spider-Man that one time. So you can't put anything past him. You never know.
But did you get an extra Kingpin to put that head on?
Ooh, we haven't got a Kingpin yet, so I might have to try to manage 2 of them somehow.
I did the Dorkside Toys order one loose deal. It was still like $50, but that's cheaper than an entire wave of figures to put them together.
Yep. That's a good route to go.
It's the cost of 2 figures.
Right. It's a great way to go for a complete Build-A-Figure.
So I actually remember I talked to Jesse Falconer about that, and that was specifically his idea to put that in the wave. I ran into him in New York Comic Con, and I was like, I can't believe. He's like, oh yeah, I did that.
I like it. Just random alternate heads that can pop on things that have been released, within the last year or so. That Hydra Bob thing is, my favorite part. So I think this is a good entry into the Rider series. Last wave we had was it Wolverine and his bike? And I think that was it. That was kind of a solo release because before that it was Black Widow and Ghost Rider.
Yes, and the weird thing is these are 3 to a case, and what I have heard is this is 2 Deadpools to 1 Professor X in this first case assortment.
That's gonna hurt.
Not really. Deadpool seems to have much more curb appeal than Professor X.
I don't know. I disagree because I think that Professor X, everyone's got a little soft spot in their heart for him and his hover chair.
Yeah, true. And I was about to say, but Professor X hasn't been in a really big hit movie, but I guess there was Logan.
Yeah. I mean, it's a decision I wouldn't want to have to make. If I had to pick between these two, which one to double up on in a case, it'd be a coin flip at that point.
And then also sitting in my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store is the Hydra Legend set with Hydra Supreme and the repainted Arnim Zola.
I find myself a little bit more excited about this set than I thought I should be. Because, I mean, on paper, it's a re-release of, like, the first Build-A-Figure when Legends returned. And, guys like us, we've been in it this whole time. It's like, why are you re-releasing a Build-A-Figure that we did so long ago? But this is a cool update. It's completely different colors, new art in the little lenticular part, and it's a new head. I think the original head's still in there too. So this is so much more different than that original Build-A-Figure that it's a completely new figure in my eyes.
It's been so long, and this is such a paint upgrade with the metallic gold that you're not going to hear me complaining about it. It's been years and years. I mean, I don't see him coming out with Hitmonkey again, but if they did, I wouldn't complain,
Right.
I mean, how long ago does Hitmonkey feel?
Exactly. And this Hydra Supreme looks pretty cool too. I mean, I've seen some live pictures of it, and Marjorie, it's got that gold plastic you were just talking about with Mystique's gun, which is kind of hit or miss. It depends on the batch that you get if it looks good or not, because it's just swirly metallic plastic. So you could get one that looks like a soap dispenser if you're not lucky. But the sculpt of it looks really cool. I'm really excited to get this pack.
And outside of Legends, for those who are collecting, I personally am getting excited. My Steelbook collection is growing considerably.
It is, yes.
But there's a new Captain America Steelbook coming.
We can watch Captain America in 4K.
This is obviously, as you can see in the corner, only at Best Buy, but I really like that Steelbook art. I mean, you got Tommy Lee Jones in the background, Red Skull up there with not enough of his face where you could make sure it's Hugo Weaving and not the new actor that they put in Infinity War. And then Sebastian Stan over there and the plane, the flag. I just think that's a really cool design, and I was happy to get that.
No, that's cool. It's crazy how far we've come. Like, the first Avenger seems like a lifetime ago.
They're doing this. I'm surprised they're doing it so slow, the 4K re-releases. They did the first 2 Avengers films when Infinity War came out, and they had all 3 in 4K. But now it's like they're just, maybe they're picking Captain America because he's going to die in Endgame.
Shut up! Shut up!
In case people don't know, Marjorie is a little bit pre-traumatic stress syndrome.
I have a lot of anxiety, okay? And you're adding to it by telling me Captain America is going to die. You sent me this horrible artist rendering of Cap's funeral. It's like you're purposely trying to drive me into a nervous breakdown.
I'm trying to condition you to...
No, do you not? You're not the person to do this then. Perhaps there's someone else that can condition me because you're just making it worse.
It's kind of like for somebody who's afraid of heights, my suggestion is let's throw them out of a plane.
Yes.
Wow.
When I have a complete mental breakdown before Endgame, this is why.
You're gonna refuse to go as long as it doesn't. As long as you don't see it, it doesn't happen.
I'm already to that point. I'm a little nervous. I just, oh my God, I have knots in my stomach.
And then this came out like under the radar. Best Buy is doing this thing, and we went into a Best Buy because before Christmas it was a good place for toy runs. And now it's a desolate wasteland of washing machines.
We manually shopped.
But when I was in there, I noticed they are desperately trying to sell media through any way they can. And on various movie titles like the movie Christine and the movie Predator. And I'm trying to remember if it was Predator, but definitely Spider-Man Homecoming. They have Project Pop Art, where they just have poppy, bright art on the covers of new steelbooks for old movies.
Interesting. If there wasn't other movies in this line, I would think that, just looking at the Spider-Man one, I would think they're trying to confuse some people into thinking this was Into the Spider-Verse and getting people to buy the wrong movie.
Yeah, I just don't get exactly what they're doing. Well, I mean, I do. They're desperately trying to keep the home media market going.
Sure.
But it was just weird to sit there and be like, well, it's a Marvel Steelbook. I'm definitely going to buy it. But seeing it on some of these other movies, it's like, am I really going to buy another copy of Christine because it looks like an Andy Warhol version of the car? No, I'm not.
Yeah, but if they put a fake Deadpool cover on it, you would.
Oh, burn!
If I may just, aside for a moment, speaking of all these home media releases, Once Upon a Deadpool did come out. And can I just say how happy I am that they treat it like the bonus feature it is, pricing it at $15, and there's no Target exclusive, Best Buy Steelbook, Walmart with a figure. It's just the most basic Blu-ray imaginable.
Did you pay $15?
Hey, it's worth $15. They did enough new stuff in it to warrant a $15 purchase.
Although, if you check, I posted on Now Playing my top 10 movies of 2018, and Deadpool 2 was in there, and my bottom 5 movies of 2018, and Once Upon a Deadpool was in there. Seriously, if you've not seen Deadpool 2, trying to watch Once Upon a Deadpool would not be a fulfilling experience.
It would be if you're 12.
If you're 12 and don't care, like, what happens to characters when they just disappear, and things are happening off screen, and then characters are dead, yeah.
I think that's all part of it, though. This is all, like, meta knowledge, right? This is the movie makers saying to the studio, and this is why we have to be rated R. This is what could have been.
Apparently they did this for the China release. And China wouldn't take R-rated films, and they knew there was money to be had in China, and the only way Ryan Reynolds would agree to it is if they released it here in the States and donated a portion of the proceeds to charity.
Yeah, I mean, all this behind-the-scenes stuff it all adds up to being cool. It might not be the greatest thing ever, but it's still got just this vibe of coolness to it that, like, it was done for the right reasons, and even the parts that was just
released is the right reason.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, like, even the parts that were like kind of a capitalistic cash grab were muted by Ryan Reynolds and other people, like saying, yes, but let's make sure we do this, this, and this.
Well, anyway, that was just a quick aside on the Deadpool release that I did not have to buy 4 or 5 copies when I already bought 4 or 5 copies of Deadpool 2 because of the various releases. And then I already had it on pre-order because stores now do this. A movie's in theaters, you can pre-order it. And even Best Buy, they're like, we don't know when, we don't know what. We know we'll have a steelbook for you. So you can order the Steelbook now, and then we'll tell you when it's coming later. So when this movie was in theaters, I was able to pre-order the Steelbook. Just today, they revealed the cover art and announced the release date of Into the Spider-Verse, coming March 19th to Blu-ray, which means probably about March 5th for direct to streaming for those of you who like to buy digital.
I'm gonna say it. I love this movie. The movie was visually stunning. I dig steelbooks. This art just isn't doing it for me. Like, this movie has so much more artistic vibe to it that this is all come up with is a little disappointing.
But it is tying into the movie, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, guys, you have to go see it. It's tremendous. Like, I was captivated the whole time, which is rare for me on a movie. Like, usually I'm, like, finding reasons to get up and meander unless it's, like, a great movie. But
And it was a hard sell for you. I took it to a cartoon.
You did. Not that I don't like cartoons. I mean, but it just, you're taking me to a feature-length cartoon, and it did not involve Mordecai and Rigby, and I was kind of sad about that. So, but Justin, if you look at the art, I mean, it's important because it's his his graffiti that he was doing, his tagging. So, I mean, I understand the symbolism, but I will give you half agree there, because the movie was visually stunning to the point that some people complained about it, but I agree. They could have done more, but I see what they did. How's that?
I mean, I'm not even saying the art is specifically bad. I'm saying, like, just the composition of it is bad. I mean, he's not centered on there. They didn't know if they wanted to focus on Spider-Man or his graffiti in the background, so they didn't do either properly. It just it could have been executed better, is what I'm saying.
But wait, I literally thought I was going blind in the movie because of a lot of the in focus, out of focus, in focus, out of focus, shaky, and then like all this other stuff. So it was kind of the aesthetic of the movie.
I agree. I think they could have done something cooler with this. I have the art of book, and just, you know what's really weird is seeing the out of focus offset printing backgrounds where in the theater I'm like, do I need 3D glasses? To see that printed on a book, I'm like, does the book come with 3D glasses? But they could have done something like that with the Steelbook, but I'm hoping, you know, Steelbooks do not translate well a lot of the time to a photograph or digital media. You got to see it. You got to see the metallic, the reflection in his eyes, you know, the seeing something in Miles' eyes that I can't make out on this image gives me hope that it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to stop me from buying it. I'll say that. Just the graphic artist in me would have probably, this would have been like my third or fourth attempt and just been like, all right, whatever.
Otherwise known as my first attempt, when I email it to you and go, Justin, fix this.
Somewhere Justin's got an Instagram account called Arnie's Shitty Photoshop.
If he doesn't, he should. He really
I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Go on.
But speaking of Into the Spider-Verse and its art style, like I said, we hadn't done a show, but my collecting had not slowed an ounce. I was mildly obsessed with the trading cards only available at AMC that were given away when you went to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, you got 3 cards for every viewing. 1, 2, 3, and it's a set of 12.
Oh. See, look at that. Even that Miles would have been an awesome steelbook cover, or the Spider-Man next to him would have been an awesome cover. A lot of dynamicness going on there. He's jumping.
I agree. That Miles they're high gloss, so not a steelbook, but I could see what it would be if it was. And all of these would be awesome. Could you imagine that Kingpin on a steelbook, just black steel with that head popping out? In fact, now I want them to do variants like they did for Guardians of the Galaxy at Walmart. Do all these cards as steelbook covers.
No.
All right, maybe not Scorpion and Prowler.
I think those are 2 weak links in there.
Yeah, they're horizontal too, so it doesn't quite go as well. But here's the worst thing. All right, I knew they were doing cards. I didn't know how many, and I went with Marjorie and Stuart the first night, and so we had 12 cards. And then the next night, we went back, 6 more cards. And I was nowhere near a set.
No, and I do dabble in trading card collecting. And it's really maddening when something like this happens, when it's a few cards here and there, and trying to find resources to see what the entire set is, because they don't release a primer or checklist on something like this. So it was a pain, and thank God for AMC A-List for a while, because go see the movie for free, get a pack of cards.
Hey, this is the new Marvelicious version 2. This is the new Arnie, who is not the cooler. I was going on eBay trying to find some of these cards, and then some AMC employee must have stolen all of the extras because he put 90 packs of these cards up for a $7 buy it now.
For
And
$7?
70.
Oh, okay. I was like, $7, buy it all day long.
So I hemmed and hawed, but the thing is, the individual packs were being listed and selling for $5 to $6 a piece. So when I saw it under $1 a piece, I'm like, oh, I'm sure this is far more than I'll ever need, but let me buy it. Let me tell you, we opened every pack. It was the last pack that gave me the last card.
So how it worked out was the upside down Spider-Man, where he's hanging, that was the rarest card, followed by Kingpin and Spider-Man Noir, Kingpin, and the Prowler. And we got exactly one of that Spider-Man. One!
And I had bought other packs before then, so understand, I opened nearly 100 packs. We ended up with about 300 trading cards. One Spider-Man.
Hey, you know what, though? And it sucks that you had to go through all that, but that's what collecting's all about. They feel more valuable to you now, right?
Oh my God, I'm so proud of them. You have no idea. And I have a problem with trading cards as it is. And, you know, I'm constantly, like, keeping my selling things going because I really want those Infinity War hobby boxes because I love those cards and I need more of them to complete my set. But, yeah, trading cards are so much fun, and this was amazing to do.
But Arnie's no longer the cooler because I bought those at such a cheap price, and Marjorie is so good at eBaying. I actually sold the extras. Like I said, we got one Spider-Man, but Prowler, Kingpin, and Noir were all hard to get. We sold a Kingpin for $10 just for that Kingpin.
Wow. Kingpin rookie card.
I ended up making money for a change.
Hey, the cooler's dead. It is a new era of Marvelicious Toys.
I couldn't believe it. And Marjorie at first was like, Arnie, why'd you do this? I'm like, I don't think I can lose money on this deal. And I was right.
So in conclusion, the state of the union of collecting in Arnie's world is that the economy is strong.
The economy is strong, and I have enough cardboard boxes to build a wall. It'll be... And if anyone wants to help catalog my collection, I can fix the unemployment issue.
I might take you up on that.
So while we look to the future, though, we are 1 week away from New York Toy Fair. It is crept up on me this year. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's next week.
No, it's like super fast, and I'm not prepared for it. But I did pour through all the vendors that are exhibiting to find all the Marvel ones, and I just don't think we're going to be as busy as we have in the past.
I think Hasbro is going to be great for Marvel and terrible for Star Wars because I don't think they'll be able to say anything about Episode 9. So they'll be like, well, here's a new Bosk and here's a new 21B, and we'll tell you more in October.
It's funny. I was kind of thinking they're both in the same boat, though, because, I mean, you're coming in before Captain Marvel and before Endgame, there's stuff that they cannot show yet. So, I mean, they may show parts of waves coming out, but we're not going to get any major spoiler type of stuff next week.
The difference is, I feel that the Star Wars team is focusing only on new media, and Marvel is focusing on comic figures still. You know, they do a couple movie waves a year, but that's not the bread and butter of their line. I mean, look at the stuff we've been excited to talk about, that Mystique, Deadpool on a scooter. They can show that stuff all day long.
Yeah. Whereas Star Wars, you're right. I have a feeling their big thing is going to be the actual finished, ready to roll out barge being debuted.
Which, you know, is great.
It's just old news.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, we've been talking about this on Facebook. Star Wars collecting went really poorly in 2018 as far as financials for Hasbro, and Marvel collecting did gangbusters. There were reports in Bloomberg and Fortune about how, as far as Hasbro's licensing division, they lost money on Star Wars, and I forget the other licensed property, but those losses were offset by stronger than expected sales of Marvel.
Well, I mean, there's way more product on Marvel, and I would say it's a growing fan base of collectors rather than a shrinking one, too. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and I just feel that Star Wars is going to be a little sheepish because of a bad year. So they're going to take this as a rebuilding year and try to come back strong late this year with Episode 9. Whereas Marvel, they're the champs. They got the Super Toy ring.
They completed the Infinity Gauntlet.
Exactly.
Well, didn't it gross more than The Last Jedi? Infinity War? Didn't they pass the torch?
I don't think it did. But they certainly beat the pants off Solo.
Well, yeah, but I thought that there was...
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. They both made billions.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. Yeah. It ceases to matter when you put a B in front of that number.
That's true.
But, yeah, how much will we see from Endgame? I'm sure we'll see some stuff now that there's trailers. The big thing they have to wait for is the studio to say, okay, you can show what Captain America looks like in this movie. Or, okay, you can show what Iron Man looks like all beat up in this movie. You can show that Ant-Man is in this movie. All of that. So they'd be able to show that stuff. And maybe a farmer Thanos Build-A-Figure?
I want the Thanos Scarecrow. Just the armor.
I wonder if get an extra Walmart Thanos and, like, custom that out of the armor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little intrepid going into ToyFair because I've done a good job of, like, ignoring the toy leaks and the spoiler stuff. Like, I've seen something here and there, and I've quickly put it out of my head. I'm hoping that they don't just, like, pop out a whole bunch of stuff that's like, oh, and here's what you're going to see in the movie that you haven't seen in a trailer yet. And I don't think they will.
You know, I think they're pretty good about that. Occasionally we'll get something you're like, oh, I wonder what that's about. But it's not like how it was with Star Wars with episode 1, 2, and 3, where you couldn't even look at the card backs because you get spoilers about the movie. So it's not like that level bad when you go in and look at like Hasbro, the other stuff. They're very cautious about showing anything that be considered a spoiler.
Well, speaking of spoilers, here's a slight ToyFair spoiler. But I got to be careful with what I say. But when I was putting together the slide deck, the question was, will Hasbro do an 80th anniversary line for Legends the way they did the MCU 10th anniversary line? Because that was, we talked about it sitting on the shelves, but I think that was a great line. I think it was awesome to bring back the figures they did and to hit some of the ones they missed in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a press release that Hasbro sent us a little while ago that said that this is Marvel's 80th anniversary, and they're going to be having a lot of tie-ins, including toys and comics and all sorts of other things. So it led me to speculate, will this logo be on a line of figures like the 10th anniversary. But 3 days ago, there was a little bit of one of the world's largest online retailers listed some stuff that they probably shouldn't have yet and then quickly pulled it down.
So Walmart?
No.
Target?
Bigger.
Amazon?
Yeah.
They're good about that.
And so all signs point to yes. If I were Magic 8-balling this. And while most of them simply went up as numbers, 2 figures were revealed. And Hasbro doesn't like it when we say things like that. So I can't tell you what, but I can tell you if you go out looking for this information, you'll find out. And if you don't go looking, I'm 99.9% positive you're going to find out when we cover ToyFair next weekend.
Yeah, and this, this is less spoilery of a movie coming out and more just like, hey, be excited when we present to you what's coming out, because like you said, if this is going to be filling in holes from stuff over the last 10 years in the cinematic universe, but also opening up the possibility of doing anything and everything from the 80 years of the comics. I mean, it's a whole world of stuff that we could possibly see here.
The thing I keep hearing over and over again that people want is a Stan Lee figure, especially because of his passing late last year. And I guess there was one of those waves that never came out had intended to have a Stan Lee Build-A-Figure. So
even crazier than that, Arnie, the wave did come out. It was supposed to be a Build-A-Figure in 2 of the 2-packs. So that the 2-pack of Killmonger that we were just talking about was supposed to have like half the figure, and then there was another one that was supposed to have the other half. And there was prototype shown, there's packaging with that shown in there, and they pulled it for some reason. So yeah, I would hope that figure exists and is slated to come out. Now would be the time to do it.
Well, I have a question. So is Professor X and the Deadpool ones, those are not the 80th anniversary collection, they just have the logo.
Right.
Okay.
And they're the first products out there with that logo.
With the logo on it.
But it's not a line the way I'm kind of envisioning they could do. But again, when you're dealing with 80 years of comics, I mean, what could you do? It's not like there's major characters that they haven't done. I mean, I'd like to see them go back to the Timely comics and maybe, they did the Defenders 4-pack as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive in 3 3/4 inch.
Okay, so I did look because, cats, curiosity, all that jazz, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to say what it is. It's out there if you want it. I found it within 5 seconds. The one I saw, it makes sense, and I kind of like how they're doing it, but I didn't see a picture of it, so I don't know if it's... I assume it's the comic...
I'm assuming?
...version instead of the movie version.
Maybe the Gamerverse version?
Why would it be Gamerverse?
Because...
I think we saw different things then.
No, we saw the same thing.
Hey, you guys got me Googling. I feel like I'm a kid in the back seat that doesn't understand what mom and dad are spelling out.
Google it, Justin. Just a little bit. Seriously, it took me like 5 seconds.
Well,
but I'm going to give you a hint. Look to our neighbors at the north.
But what I can say is the character is a character who has a really kick-ass outfit that originated in one of my favorite Marvel video games, Puzzle Quest.
All right.
And so, but back to what I was saying, I would love to see a Marvel Legends like classic Human Torch, not Johnny Storm, but the old android Human Torch. I mean, what do you do for 80 years,
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be something special because it's not like Marvel doesn't dip back into history. I mean, we're getting lines of the Toy Biz throwback. We get lines with current comic characters and even older comic characters. So it's not like it's a well they haven't dipped into. This is something that's gonna have to like stand out to like say, yes, this is an anniversary, a special type of thing to commemorate 80 years.
I saw what you're talking about. And I forgot how BA that was.
Uh-huh.
Because that is one of my favorite characters when I do play that game.
Uh-huh.
Huh. But I don't know how I'd feel.
Anyway, let's not make this bad podcasting. But
No, it's not. It's kind of fun because I'm not going to say what it is. You're just going to listen to me talk about it.
This week on Marvelicious Innuendo, we hint at things that we won't talk about.
But I agree with you, Justin, in that how do you make it not, we're just going to back a dump truck of more toys you would have gotten anyway on you and make it something like you would never have gotten this except. That's how I felt about the MCU 10th.
Right. That very succinctly saying what I said in many more words, but yes, that's exactly what I said.
Succinctly in more words, but I was just agreeing with you, basically.
No, and I was thanking you for, bringing me back on board.
And then the other thing I'm really looking forward to is Lego. We are confirmed we will be at the Lego private event that they have Saturday morning. It's our 12th year going to the Lego event, and it's always one of the highlights of the show. And while they never do inundate us with Lego sets, I think last year was one of their biggest years because they came out with a whole bunch of Spider-Man sets at the end of the year for Spider-Verse, as well as having the Black Panther sets and the Infinity War sets. But I am really looking forward to what they hopefully will show off for Captain Marvel. I doubt they show anything from Endgame because last year they didn't show any Infinity War.
I'm sure they'll have an Endgame speedboat scene that doesn't exist.
I used that as an example the other day about how toys don't make sense, like Constable Zuvio.
It's like just even with Infinity War, Bruce Banner busting out of the Hulkbuster armor as Hulk, I guarantee that was in a script.
Yeah, that's on a cutting room floor somewhere, because there's quite a few lines that had that going on.
But I'm really, really looking forward to ToyFair. Hopefully, all of our listeners are looking forward to coming back to Marvelicious Toys as we get into a regular groove of releases. And this week is this show where we kind of welcome you back and get you acclimated to the water temperature. And next week, we're going to be live from Comic-Con Saturday and
ToyFair.
No, Arnie, it's this week we've gone to base camp at Everest, and we're just going to screw the acclimation. We're just going straight to the top.
And as Justin said, ToyFair, not Comic-Con.
Yes.
There's just so many Comic-Cons. If I say Comic-Con, I'm safe like 4 out of 5 times.
True.
Speaking of Comic-Con, did you hear who's coming to C2E2 in March?
Yes.
I did not.
Not Justin, I'll tell you that.
Justin should come because
Paul Rudd.
Okay,
See?
maybe I'll come.
Did you hear that?
All right, you guys get the mic.
Everyone loves Paul Rudd.
You guys get the mics hard, and we'll make it a date.
you mean the Mike's Harder Lemonade, not rub our microphones.
Hey, whatever gets you going.
If you come, I got a photo op. You, I, and Paul can be in a photo.
Nice.
I'll let you join in.
Let's go meet some Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I couldn't, and I think he's actually going to go, unlike that HorrorCon that announced him, so I bought a VIP ticket immediately, and then 6 hours later they canceled him, and I couldn't get a refund. But, yeah, he's going to be at C2E2. But what is our show going to be now that we're back? We're going to have these live shows, which will then be on the podcast feed. We're going to have video like we did tonight. Sometimes there will be more moving video. Sometimes it'll be a little more slidey like tonight. But we're also going to do basically what we're calling Marvelicious one-shots, which if you're listening to other shows might call a microcast. So in between big shows like this, at least once a week, you're going to get something from Marvelicious Toys, a one-off review, going with Justin on a toy run, or something. It's going to be a little while before the first one-shot because ToyFair. But we will have the one-shots coming, and I'm going to tease what my first one-shot is going to be. I came home yesterday, and there were 3 large boxes, but one specific large box sitting on our doorstep.
The mighty Thanos has arrived.
And how much did it cost?
I don't know.
Everything.
Marjorie should aim for the head.
Yeah.
No, Hot Toys aimed for the head of the credit card limit. This is the Hot Toys life-sized Infinity Gauntlet. And I guess I just didn't appreciate how big Thanos is. He has big hands, and you know what that means.
He wears big gloves.
It means that box is friggin' huge.
I'm just doing a little bit of quick, spatial relations here. You had to tip that sideways to get in through the door.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, so Justin, just to give you an idea, you know how tall I am, obviously. I mean, we see each other once a year, maybe twice.
And for those who don't see Marjorie, 5'5".
Well, thank you, but you are incorrect, sir.
5'4".
How long have we been together?
5'2".
He's just going to keep trying. Anyway.
4'8".
This price is right.
Say all the numbers. Yeah. So it's above my waist, halfway between my waist and my shoulders.
I mean, a standard door is 3.5 feet wide. That box has got to be about 4 feet.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's massive.
And on top of it is a 10th scale Hulkbuster.
Wow. I hope you guys have a security camera out there. There's a couple $1,000 sitting on your porch right there.
Highly suggest the Ring security system, guys. It's amazing. If you need help setting it up, just let me know.
Yes, it is guarding our porch, and we actually have them inside our house. Another one shot will be a tour of my collection, hopefully later this year, because the contractor is going to start work on it this summer. So I will be able to put all this stuff out and give you guys a tour. But yes, security cameras will be there, not for break-ins, but for break-ins. For example, if my wife were to knock a mini bust off of a shelf and then wonder if I broke a mini bust but Arnie didn't hear it, did it really break?
Is this real life or is this a Brady Bunch episode, where she glued it back together and then you didn't notice for 6 months?
No, I just set the arm on top and what happened?
I will have cameras.
But then it was better because 2 weeks later he busted Darth Maul's saber.
And one of our one shots will be footage from divorce court, where all this is admissible as video evidence.
Where we fight over who gets to keep all of Cap's shields.
They're mine.
No, you get to choose the dogs or the shields.
That's unfair. I'm choosing my dogs.
Anyway, I guess what we're saying is that what we're trying to do here is we're trying to keep the classic vibe of Marvelicious and deliver a show once a month that is our classic thing, where we do reviews, catch you up on everything that's going on. And then we're also going to do these one-shot things that can be about almost anything in the collecting realm, which kind of brings us into this new world of YouTube and social media and, smaller chunk-sized, bite-sized chunks of information for you.
So I guess what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything at all, is welcome back.
Yes.
And not just Marvelicious Toys, but Star Wars Action News is back too. If you can, I hope you'll join us Thursday night, February 7th. Same bat time, different bat channel, as we bring back figure reviews and all the news from Star Wars Action News at swactionnews.com.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of Black Series stuff to talk about over there.
Yes, quite a bit of stuff. Maybe, I don't know, we're going to talk about Resistance and things like that. So
Resistance, Galaxy of
Adventures.
I
saw you blank on that,
There's actually 2 minifigure lines there right now, but we're going to sort it all out on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have to do this real quick before we end the show, and this is for Jeff.
Because apparently, during the State of the Union, you could have your name, scroll across for $1.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah, it started out as 35, but now it's $1.
Really? Justin, is this true?
Yeah, it's a Trumpian thing. It's not a normal thing, but it's a thing.
Well, Jeff called my bluff, and I'm calling his bluff. So, Luke Athmadick, Clint Torres, Kringlebert Fistybuns, Oliver Klosasov, Johann, Gamble Putty, Davon, Osfern, Schlenpen, Schlitter, Kreskin Von, Fry, Digger, Dangle, Dongle, Dungle, Burstein Von, Knacker, Thrasher, Apple, Banger, Horowitz, Ticken Slick, Grander, Naughty, Spell Tinkle, Grandlich, Grumblebuyer, Spelter, Wasser, Crustalick, Him Beiselen, Von Wagen, Gutnabend, Bitte, Ein, Nürnberger, Bratwussel, Gersputin, Mitz, Weinbach, Luber, Hansflut, Gum, Baraber, Sean Danker, Karlsfleisch, Mittler, Osher, Von, Hotkopf of
If anyone will take that and put it to like a 90s dance beat, I will give you a Marvel Legends Deadpool on a scooter.
Nice.
Now, we do have a question coming in from Lance Hoffman. He said, we finally got a Legends MJ for 80 years. Can we get a classic Aunt May? Not MCU, So
you want an action figure of an old lady?
Yes.
Not Marissa Tomei. I think you've got this backwards.
Why not both?
Well, yeah, you could have both.
I want the Marissa Tomei Hot Toy and the Aunt May Legends. How about that?
They're not going to make Marissa Tomei Hot Toys.
Yeah, we can get the bootleg head, and you can get one of those real bodies. That okay.
Yeah, I guess you can make your own, and now you're getting weird.
Yep, now we're getting into a weird place at
You're
the
saying
end.
real body, which is like a Hot Toys body. You're not talking about the real dolls.
Right. No, I'm talking about those
Girl.
Japanese those Japanese bodies that are like they're articulated, but their skin they're kind of like that Hulk with the
Justin.
articulated arms, but they're naked ladies.
Oh my god!
Arnie knows what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Justin.
You know what I'm talking about. You put me on the eBay page.
You guys have a whole other life that you don't include me in.
I suppose that's as good a place as any, right?
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who's listened live. And if you downloaded us on the podcast feed, thank you too, because we wouldn't do this if listeners hadn't said, we want the show back. We're glad you wanted us back. We're happy to be back, and we hope that you'll come. And first of all, leave us a positive review on iTunes, post in Facebook, post on Twitter. Come to our webpage, comment on the articles there. Marvelicioustoys.com has had quite a redesign when we relaunched the show last year at middle year. So feedback on what you'd like to see there. We're going to be doing some more written reviews over our hiatus. I actually did written reviews of some Mezco 112 figures and definitely got a few more of those coming as one-shot videos. We want you guys to be part of it all. So thank you for listening, and let us know what you want us to do.
All right, so it's good to be back, and we'll be back again for ToyFair next week. So we'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Marvelicious Toys. There's even more Marvelicious content at our website, marvelicioustoys.com. You can see pictures of the products we discussed, find checklists for collectibles, and read articles on Marvel movies, comics, and collecting. It's all at marvelicioustoys.com. You can also help out our show by telling your friends to listen by posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or in person. We would also greatly appreciate a 5-star review written on iTunes. A link to our iTunes feed is at marvelicioustoys.com. We want your feedback. You can email us at show@marvelicioustoys.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Find all those links at our website. If you also like Star Wars collecting is covered at our other podcast, Star Wars Action News, which you can find at swactionnews.com. Marvelicious Toys is produced and edited by Arnie Carvalho. Associate produced by Jason Latham. Video editing by Barrett, Andrew, and Daryl. Graphic design by Justin. Photo editing by Jeff and Curtis. Announcements by Brock. If you want to hear reviews of every movie ever based on Marvel Comics, check out those reviews and hundreds more on the Now Playing Podcast at nowplayingpodcast.com. Marvel Comics, and all that the Marvel multiverse contains are the intellectual property of Marvel Entertainment Incorporated, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, and no infringement is intended. Marvelicious Toys is a Venganza Media production, copyright 2019, all rights reserved, and no part of this show may be reproduced, repurposed, or redistributed without the written permission of Venganza Media Incorporated.